Sort of keeping a close eye on that one particular gate. When is it going to happen? And, you know, we're seeing a couple of people, a couple of Corps workers, contractors on top of the bridge, and you can tell they're sort of getting things in place to open the Morganza Spillway for only the second time in the history of the structure. Last time, again, was in 1973, and they only opened it to alleviate pressure from the old river that's nearby. It wasn't really to prevent flooding from the Mississippi River. So this is really the first true test of its strength, of its might. Right now, you're taking a live look at some of the seepage that's pushing through those steel gates. That kind of gives you an idea of just how intense that water is behind that wall. It really wants to get through there because there's so much inundating that farmland that's on the riverside of the Morganza Spillway. So there it goes. Take a look, everybody. You can see. This is truly a historic moment. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers now opening the Morganza Spillway to alleviate flooding from the Mississippi River. First time when it comes to its true purpose and true meaning. So that gives you a very good idea. Just one single bay is open, and look how much water is rushing out of there. Wow. That's intense. Only one single bay, again, is being opened today. And that's going to let itself sort of repressurize with that one bay open. Then the Corps says they're going to open 1, 2, maybe 3 more tomorrow. At full capacity, they're expecting the Morganza Spillway only to be open 25%. And looking at that one gate, can you imagine if they opened all of those gates? How much water would be rushing its way down the Atchafalaya Basin? Most people that live in the path of the Atchafalaya Basin and of this water are not going to start to see water for a couple of days. They're doing this for a reason. They want to let local communities, local officials get the people out that need to get out within the next couple of days before the water actually reaches those areas. Now you can see all of the workers for the Corps of Engineers looking at this piece.
Got one in there with no hard hat sitting on a handrail. Looks like a government job.
Through the Morganza Spillway in a very historic moment. Again, on a very historic day. So this is going to continue flowing. Again, Colonel Ed Fleming with the Corps said it's going to be open from now until the crest, which is expected around May 22nd there at Morganza. Once the crest begins, because crest really, it's not like a 1-hour proposition. It's a 10-day proposition where the river height and the river flow is at its height. So the Morganza Spillway, once they begin opening these gates like you're seeing right now, that will continue to be open and remain open for at least 10 days past the crest. At that point, they'll reassess, they'll take another look at it, and then they'll figure out where to go from there as the water begins to recede. They're keeping a very, very close eye on the levees from Morganza all the way down through Baton Rouge, all the way down to New Orleans, because the system, again, was only designed to accept and take 1.5 million cubic feet of water per second throughout the system. So if it gets any higher than that, then that's when they may start to have a problem with those levees. So right now, what you're seeing there is water rushing out, alleviating some of that flow, alleviating some of that pressure. Derek Hebber is again in the Weather Center with us. And Derek, are you watching this? Can you see that mass amount of water flowing out of there?
Yeah, Katie, that truly is incredible. I'm trying to do a quick calculation here. They say if the Morganza Spillway was open completely, it would take 30 seconds for that flood of water to fill the Superdome. So my quick calculation puts us at probably about, let's say about 5 minutes or so of just that one gate being open for the entire Superdome to be filled with water. That says a lot about how fast that water is spewing out. And you said it, Katie. Did you say about 25 feet of water on the other side of that?
Yeah, 25 feet of water is what they told me last Wednesday. So I can only imagine it's even higher than that now.
Yeah, even if it was just 25 feet of water, having all of that get pushed through one gate, that is an incredible amount of force. That water, I'm telling you, very strong. Probably about 500,000 hoses worth of pressure there rushing out of that one gate, something that I've never seen It's something a lot of people around here have never seen, considering that back in 1973, that was the last time this was even open.
Absolutely, and again, this is different from the Bonnie Carey Spillway because the Bonnie Carey has water on both sides of it, essentially. I mean, there's some marshland on one side of it, and then, of course, you have Lake Pontchartrain. So typically the Bonnie Carey Spillway is water flowing into water. This is very different. It's now water flowing into farmland. All of the livestock, all of the cattle that grazed there just a week ago had to be evacuated and gotten out of harm's way because you can just see how fast that tail side of the Morganza Spillway is. The Corps says that they're only expecting to have about 1 to 2 feet of water once that pressure sort of eases up a little bit, so that livestock, so that animals, bears, all of those creatures that wildlife and fisheries are really keeping an eye on have a chance to make it to higher ground. They are mobilizing with the National Guard in order to be able to do rescues and get that wildlife out of harm's way in case they get stranded, trapped in trees. They have boats ready. They have aerial abilities to go